welcome to another episode of the Studio 78 podcast. I am your host, Nache from NacheSnow.com. Welcome. I haven't done a solo episode in a while, so I figured I would do one today. And no, I'm going to be like a hardcore fitness trainer in this episode just to kind of kick everybody into gear. I know there is a lot going on in the world today, so if you are not in like the mental space for a kick in the butt, I understand. Turn this off, get out of here. But if you're kind of like in a rut and you're like, Nache, I need to get my business going, my side hustle, my full-time business, my whatever, and I just need a little bit of motivation and some action steps in order to do what I need to do, please keep listening. I'm all pumped up. I just recently read 2 books, Boss Up and the 10X Rule, which I'll link in the show notes, NacheSnow.com/109. And it just, reading both of those books just got my wheels turning. So the first book, Boss Up, I definitely recommend it for moms, even though I'm not a mom. I read everything because I'm just a sponge. I love learning. And even if a book isn't necessarily geared towards me, if I think I'm going to get something out of it, I'm going to listen to it and sometimes read it. But most of the time, let's be honest, I'm listening to books. Anyway, Boss Up is by Lindsay Teague Moreno. And definitely check it out. And she just talks about kind of how she built her empire and while also being a mom. And one of the things that I got from that book, actually, which is kind of surprising, is the Enneagram test. And some of you guys may have already taken this. I have heard about it. I've heard about it on podcasts I've listened to. I've seen people post about it on Instagram. And if you guys are like, what is this? So Enneagram is mostly used for like personal self-knowledge and personality development. It's offering like a powerful tool for self-mastery, conflict resolution, team dynamics, leadership, and emotional intelligence. And so I guess because it identifies these opportunities for development for each of the individual types that are part of the Enneagram, it has become like this really widely used test for counseling, psychotherapy, business development, parenting, education. So just like the Myers-Briggs test is like this test that is widely used to help people really get to understand themselves better. And in this book, she mentioned it. Another podcaster that I really respected mentioned it. And I thought, what a great time to get to know myself. And I've actually had some friends and colleagues pay that. It's like a $12 test. The RETI test, RHETI test, is the one that's $12 and will let you know what number Enneagram you are and kind of explain to you kind of like your weaknesses and your strengths. But I've had, a couple of people take it, and it's just been so great understanding how they work. And then I share what my Enneagram is. And then we can, number one, better work together if you're comparing your Enneagram with other people. But just for yourself, it's really introspective, because just learning what my Enneagram is, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so on point. And it kind of reaffirmed to me what I knew about myself, how I can play off my strengths, and then also what I need to look for, because it tells me how I look at my worst so I can check myself. So just really briefly to let you guys know what Enneagram I am an Enneagram 8, which is called the Challenger, and tied for second, I'm a 3 and a 5, and a type 3 is the achiever, and a type 5 is the investigator. So I could kind of, when I read the personality types of the 3 and the 5, I saw bits of myself in there. But when I tell you, because I was very honest when I took this test, when I read the type 8, the Challenger, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is me. And just to like give you guys like a sense of like what the results look like and what they say. For example, one of the paragraphs talked about the type 8 exemplifies the desire to be independent and to take care of oneself. 8s are assertive and passionate about life, meeting it head on with self-confidence and strength. They have learned to stand up for themselves and have a resourceful, can-do attitude. Anybody who knows me, works with me, knows that. I have a can-do attitude. Like, somebody tells me they need something done, even if I don't know I can do it, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can get this done. So this is, yes. And then over the years, I have built up my self-confidence. When I look at my high school self to myself now, I mean, that's one of the things that I have learned to master, is to believe in myself and believe that I can do what I need to do. Another thing they say about 8s are they're people of vision and action. They can take what looks like a useful, broken down shell of a building and turn it into a beautiful home or office or hospital. Likewise, they see the possibility in people, and they like to offer incentives and challenges to bring out people's strengths. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that is me, right? The reason I have that podcast is because I believe in you. Because I want women to take more control of their lives, and I want them to live their dreams and their passions. Like, that's one of the reasons why I do what I do. You know, I'm not getting rich off of this podcast. Like, I'm still learning and figuring out how to generate income in order to keep it going and make sure that I'm able to pay myself with my side hustle doing this, right? So the reason I am doing this, the reason why I continue to do this, is because the love I have for it and the belief that I have that this will help other people accomplish their dreams. And then the last thing, I'll say is one of the things they mention is many 8s have some kind of a dream for themselves in their inner circle. And being the practical minded people they are, this often involves money-making projects, business ventures, philanthropy, and the like. They may start and run their own business or set someone else up in a situation, or simply play the state lottery on a regular basis. And then it kind of goes on and on. I won't read all of it, but I'm like, oh my goodness, this is me. I can't tell you how many times I've helped other people make money. I'm not benefiting from it, but I just have a love for it. It's innate in me. And this test kind of helped me figure out that is just who I am at the core. But I also mentioned, at the beginning, it also tells you what you look like when you're not a good person. So, for example, it says less healthy 8s can be extremely controlling, self-important, confrontational, and highly territorial. Yes, this can happen. I'm also an Aries, which is the fire sign. So I constantly have to check myself so I don't become a bully. Okay? So even though some friends listening probably will tell you I am still a bully and I do harass them on a regular basis, but I temper it. So anywho, I'll link it in the show notes, but one thing that I would love for you to do and share with me over social media is take the Enneagram test, the $12 test, the Ready test, and figure out what Enneagrams you are and use that in order to figure out how you're going to take next steps in your life and how to better take care of yourself. But please share with me what your number is. I'm so fascinated by this. Okay. So next, what I would like you to do is relook at your goals. Okay. So we all started out this year with our goals, right? And because of COVID-19, some people may not be impacted. Maybe they're just continuing on with their goals and bada bing, bada bam, everything is great. For other people, it's holy smokes, what just happened? I need to change everything. That New Year's resolution is kaput, right? So for example, for me, speaking engagements and in-person workshops, I'm I'm not even going to count on them this year, because this year to me is a wash when it comes to like in-person engagements. Maybe it'll happen, but I'm not counting on it. So for me, I'm focusing on my online courses, which I've been hitting you guys hard about, nachesnow.com/Skillshare. When you go to my website, I got a big thing pop up, sign up for my Skillshare course, right? So I'm all in on my courses. Getting my YouTube sub set up. I recently redid or modified nachesnow.com. And the first thing you see is a little video of me now. And it's like, subscribe to me on YouTube. And because of that, I've seen my subscribers are slowly going up, right? Because I'm now changing my priority, because I want to get, ad money from YouTube, but I need 1,000 subs in order to do that. So I'm at like 500, but I'm hoping boom, I'll get to 1,000 by the end of this month if I just keep pushing it, because I know I already have enough listens. I just need more subscribers. And then what I'm doing is I'm okay, I'm creating downloadables. I can't do in-person and speaking engagements. So let me do my goal sheets, my planners, things that people can download and purchase from me. I'm creating my storefront, which I've been hitting you guys hard with on Instagram as I show you all how I'm building a Squarespace site, because I'm just doing it as a test for myself. So I'm moving my Shopify site to Squarespace. So when you go to nachesnow.com and you click shop in the future, it will take you to a new site that I'm working on now. Dreams, Plans, and Ideas. DreamsPlansIdeas.com. So depending on when you're listening to this, hopefully it'll be up. Not as of today, but it will be up probably in a week, because I'm hitting it hard, right? Right now, I'm generating the content that's going to go on there that I want to sell to people. And I want to make sure that it is amazing, that it'll help people, and that it's totally accessible for people, even if they cannot leave their homes, right? So I have changed my goals, and I have really in the last couple of months been shifting my business in order to do it. And I'm starting to see traction. I'm not making a ton from Skillshare, to be honest, yet, but I am making something. And $2 turns to $10, $10 turns to $20, 20 to 100, 100 to 1,500, 1,500 to 3,000, 3,000, and you on and on and on. You keep working at it, you keep pushing it, and you will eventually get to your goals. Another thing that I would like you guys to start doing during this time is educating yourself. Successful people continue to educate themselves. The amount of books, courses, videos, conferences that I've attended the past decade is ridiculous, okay? I'm always learning new things. The trick is to take action on what you have learned, okay? So I ask you during this time, dedicate 1 hour every day to learning something. For me, usually I'm on Skillshare, for some reason I'm obsessed with animated GIFs right now. So when you go to Giphy and you type in Studio 78, you'll see these little animated stickers that I made that people can use on different things. It's just something different and something fun, and people love these stickers or animated GIFs, and it forces me to continue to learn Procreate on my iPad. And so I don't know exactly how that'll play into all the things, but I just know it's a skill I want to learn, and I'm taking time to learn it. And that's, of course, not the only thing I'm learning. I'm reading books, like I mentioned to you guys. I'm watching YouTube videos on things. I'm learning more marketing tips. I'm like a sponge. I'm always trying to learn new things and implement what I learn, because I know in the end it will pay off, because I feel like I've gotten to where I am today because of that constant learning that I've been doing all of these years. Okay, so the next thing I just want you guys to think about is just kind of where you are mentally. You have to let go of that self-doubt. Now is the time to push through your fears and get out of your freaking head. Get out of your head. Nothing to it but to do it. I tell people all the time. Nothing to it but to do it. My friends always make fun of me too, because I'm like, there's money to be made in these streets. Okay. You all have seen products out there that you're like, how the heck are people selling it? It's because there is a product for everyone. So whatever you're creating, people want it. You just have to find those people that want that particular product. So stop being scared. Stop with this self-doubt, and then just start putting it out there. Regardless if it is slow moving, just do it. Fear of failure keeps people ordinary, and to become extraordinary, you must do things that you are uncomfortable with. For this podcast, my slogan for it is I interview everyday women doing extraordinary things, right? They're women that you can see on the street and you would never know that this person is making $100,000, a year selling stickers, right? But it's because they believed in themselves, because they wanted to accomplish their dreams, that they're able to do what they do. Okay. So, it's hard, but sometimes you have to stop thinking about it and just jump. And that's just getting out of your head. I can't explain it enough, or can't emphasize it enough, rather. You need to get out of your head and just do it. Sometimes you have to do the scary thing. So today is the day I ask you to take action. It's time to be confident and courageous. Stay focused on your goals and start to organize your time and your thoughts. Reduce your phone time and your TV time. I got up at 6:30 this morning to outline kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about this week. I was just like, okay, let me just get out of bed. I drank a glass of water, and even before I ate breakfast, I came into my office and I just started writing down all the things that I wanted to share with you guys. Now, I didn't turn on the TV, sit and do something else, go on Instagram, start scrolling, even though, to be honest, there are days that I do that. Okay. I'm not going to lie, but most days I try to be productive, especially if I know what I want to do. So organize your days, determine what you need to get done before you go to sleep at night, and just do it. Just, if you're not the type of person to organize every moment of your life, just say, I'm going to do these 3 things on Monday, and just at some point in that 24 hours, get it done. All right. And next, I want you guys to take action. I mentioned earlier, I recently read the 10X Rule by, what's his name? I think Gary Cardone. And it was just like a wake-up call for me, because I'm already action-oriented, goal-oriented. I kind of know what I want to do, and then I go for it. But what I realized when I read this book is that my goal or goals are too small, and that I even needed to take more risks, because I have been comfortable creating these little mini goals and taking these little baby risks, and it's got me where I am now. So I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm like, I need to think bigger, because what happens is you create these little baby goals, you do it, and then you're like, what's next? Right? And then some people, when that happens to them, they just do nothing. To me, I just create another goal and then another goal. But instead of these little tiny baby goals, I'm like, you know what? Even if a goal is scary, I just need to go for it and then just go all in. And, I also realized too that I need to continue generating content like a maniac to get more exposure and to connect with more people, because that will help me get my goal. It's, obscurity that prevents us from really achieving our goals, because no one knows we're doing things. Because if no one ever sees what you're doing, then no one will ever buy your product. No one will ever follow you. No one will ever know that you exist, right? And so if you're really trying to accomplish things, you have to be comfortable with marketing yourself, putting yourself out there. And that starts with at least putting content out there so people can at least know what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish. So I'm going to start really upping in my marketing game. I think you guys probably have seen it anyway. In the last month, I've gotten some really nice personal DM messages and emails about, responding to either my newsletter or videos that I put out on Instagram with you guys saying that you really appreciate the content that I've been generating lately. So even though this is a kind of a dark time in our history right now, I'm just inspired. I'm not letting it get me down. And I'm just, I'm out here to help people and help myself too, right? Like I want to be mentally happy. I want to make sure that I'm doing things that fill my bucket and also help people. So I am focusing on the positive. So I encourage you also to work twice as hard. Don't listen to the naysayers that tell you to slow down. If what you do gives you enjoyment and it will ultimately get you to your goals, then freaking do it. Stop listening to other people. Still get sleep, still work out, eat healthy, but work like your life and happiness depends on it. Like it's okay to work really, really hard on the things you love. A lot of times, and even it's mentioned in this book, people try to make people like us feel bad for working hard on their dreams. But that's just because a lot of times they don't have like it in them to do it themselves. And so they want you to become like them and just like do nothing, settle for the status quo. But if you're not that type of person, don't let them convince you to just like be ordinary. And so I encourage you to work smarter, not harder. I pride myself on getting twice as much done as the average person in half the time. I am always looking for a shortcut to do things still accurately, smartly, the best I can. But I'm working smarter, not harder. I'm going to figure out how I can do it in less time so I can do more things in the extra time that I now have since I've been able to do something quicker. I know that I have a dream and I will accomplish it by just sticking with my system, sticking with my kind of program of action, if you will, and not getting distracted. I also realize I need to dream bigger too, because, I have accomplished my first dream, like when I'm in, early 40s now. How old am I? 42, I think. It's like all a wash now. But when I think about when I was in high school, I dreamed of being where I am today. A financially independent woman that can do all the things that she wants to do, have a career, go on vacations, buy tech stuff if I want to, not be in a place where I'm wondering like if my card is going to go through while I'm at a grocery store, right? Like I have become the woman that I dreamed of becoming when I was a little girl. And so now I'm like, I need to dream even bigger. And now I need to dream of what I want my legacy to be. And I need to accomplish that dream for myself and also for my nieces, because when they see how hard I work and when they see me accomplish my dreams, then they're going to do the same thing too. And hey, I need them to be successful, because who's going to take care of me when I'm really old and gray? They are. So I want to be a role model for them. And I also want to leave a legacy behind. Okay, so that was a lot. So to wrap up here, and then I'm wired and I haven't even had my caffeine today. It's kind of crazy. But if you are an entrepreneur and you have like a side hustle like me, or if you're doing something full time, these are some six quick things I say to do right now. Set what you want your goals to be. Start taking action to achieve those goals, like today. Send out emails, make phone calls, put out some call to action on your social media posts to drive traffic to your website, whatever your thing might be. Just start taking action now. Don't worry about, coming up with this elaborate plan. You can come up with a plan later. Just take action. Just like I did on my website. I'm like, you know what? I'm not coming up with a whole big old plan. I know I want to have people sign up for my Skillshare class and subscribe on YouTube as the first two things to help me get to my goals. So I just modified my website that day in order to get it done, right? And I've already seen kind of some traction from that. And now I'm getting into more of a plan on how I can make that happen even more, even at a larger magnitude. Number 3 is make sure your product is show ready. Because one thing is when you start marketing hard, you want you to have a good product. So make sure that your product is good, but I repeat this, do not tweak it to death where it's 6 months before you actually like, especially if you don't have a product now and you're just working on it, do not tweak it to death before you put it out because you will have missed your moment. Just go with it and, give yourself a deadline and do it. You can always modify it later. Okay. Number 4 is clean up your websites and social media profiles. I'm in the process of doing it now. I told you guys I cleaned up nachesnow.com. I'm working on the shop arm now, dreamsplansIdeas.com. And even for social media, I've looked at that kind of when people go to my social media accounts. Does it have the picture that it should? Does it have the language there that makes sense for my brand? And are the posts that are showing right now on the different feeds, does it make sense for my brand? And for the most part, I found that my stuff is on point, but I have modified a few things here and there. So definitely take a look at that. Number 5 is start sending out newsletters and don't worry about unsubscribes. Okay. Because most people are scared that whatever they send, they're going to turn people off and people will unsubscribe. I don't care when people unsubscribe. If I cared, then, oh my goodness, I would never send out anything. You're going to get unsubscribes, especially when you start out because you might be targeting the wrong audience, or maybe your content isn't the best initially and you have to tweak it to make it better. But it's okay if people unsubscribe because I'm like, they're not my true fans. People who are ride or die with me, they're going to look at my content. They're going to pay attention to what resonates with them, and they're going to delete what they don't need. Anybody who unsubscribes are not really part of my tribe, right? And you also have to remember that there are millions of people in the world. Okay. So every one person that unsubscribes, have a goal to have 5 more people subscribe and, just continue to generate content like crazy. I'm in the process of trying to generate more content for my existing newsletter list because when you first subscribe, I have a whole little series all set up, that I've kind of batch created. So it's 8 to 10 emails. But what I even need to do is kind of batch create newsletters for my existing subscribers that aren't on those I can't think of the word for them anymore, but on those things that are already set up. So right now I'm thinking through the content for the next month, and I already have 4 ideas of content that I want to generate, and I've sent out 2 newsletters in the past month that I've gotten good feedback on. But newsletters are great. It's a great way to connect with your audience and have conversations that resonate with them. And then also put your products out there because if they're your true fans, and if it's something that they really want and need, then they'll buy from you. If they don't buy from you, then you just maybe have to rethink your product, or maybe you just have to get subscribers that make sense for your product. Only you know that. You have to do the market research for that. And then number 6, put yourself out there and start marketing and making connections. Email and direct message people that can make your dreams come true. Don't be afraid of rejection. A no is better than just not knowing if somebody would respond to you or not. Just keep trying and don't give up. Some people are like, oh my God, Nache, how did you get some of those big names on your podcast? And I'm like, I sent them an email. It's just an honest email. Hey, I'd love to have you on the podcast. This is what I want to chat with you guys about, and this is who I am. Just let me know if you'd like to come on to the podcast. And sometimes I get a response from people. Sometimes I don't. If I don't get a response, I usually will do one more follow-up, maybe a week or two later. And if it's meant to be, it'll be. But a lot of times, especially for women like supporting other women. So even if there are these major influencers, they, want to be a part of kind of what I'm doing here. And so, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So all I can do is just put it out there. I mean, hey, someone, can you send this podcast to Oprah? I'd love to have her on, goals. Anyway, my point is, put yourself out there. Even people are like, Nache, how can you be on video? Like, you crazy. I'm like, I don't care. I don't have on makeup. My grays are showing. All I can do is be my true self and be honest. I've been lucky that I haven't had too many haters, maybe a couple on YouTube, but none really on Instagram. And I just put myself out there. I can't be afraid of who I am and what people might say. If that was the case, then I would never accomplish my dreams. Like, you continue to be ordinary instead of extraordinary, right? You have to learn how to put yourself out there and be confident in yourself and the woman that you are. Whew! Okay, that's it. I promise. I'm done, y'all. This was supposed to be 15 minutes. We're on 30 minutes right now. I know. You guys know I love to talk, and I'm an oversharer. That's just who I am. But I want to say thank you for sticking with me. If you're new here, I am a little crazy, but a good crazy. Okay. Anyway, I am working on, because initially I was going to take a break from the season, but I am working to get a couple of more people on before I take like a quick summer break, since I'm not going on vacation anytime soon. So stay tuned. I have some interviews actually set up, and I'm hoping to have a new guest for you next week. So I'll probably maybe do 2 or 3 more, just depending. But anywho, to support the podcast, y'all, go over to nachesnow.com, and you can, a big pop-up will pop up in like 3 seconds, and it'll have you sign up for my Skillshare course, but you can go directly there from nachesnow.com/Skillshare and get 2 months of Skillshare free. But I still suggest you go to nachesnow.com just to sign up for the newsletter. And if you have any ideas on what you want me to cover, send me an email, hello@nachesnow.com, or direct message me on my Instagram @nachesnow. I answer all the things, all the emails. So, and I'm always looking for content, because I want to make sure what I'm providing you is truly helping you. So do that. And then, of course, YouTube, y'all. Just search Nache Snow. Bam, right there. YouTube.com, Nache Snow. Okay, I'm done. I lied. And thumbs up. 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, and thumbs up on YouTube if you're listening to this. Okay, now I'm done. All right, you guys, stay positive. Don't let this pandemic and what's going on in the world with all the things keep you down. Know that we will get through this, because that's what we do. So stay positive, take care of yourself, still accomplish your dreams. Do you, all right? And don't let anybody tell you anything different. All right, you guys. If you like this episode, please, put something in the comments and let me know. If you'd like me to do further episodes, solo episodes that give you a kick in the butt, let me know that too. You heard my Enneagram 8. I love doing that. Okay. I'm a little hardcore. Anyway, take care. Talk to you later. Bye.